about real quick this term MCP, is it Model Context Protocol?
Model Context Protocol.
Context Protocol. So I'm learning more about this. Instead of having to have an API or have some other weird kind of connection, some of the services that I use, one of them for my reseller mastermind community, I got an email and says, hey, we have this new MCP. All you need is this link. You can share that in your connections. I use Claude. There's a connection setting. Go in there, paste that URL, log in, kind of like sometimes when you give access to your bank account, if you're connecting like Venmo or whatever, it is an intermediary that kind of logs in. And in this case, actually, I think it just logged in directly. And it gave my AI access to all the analytics, all the backend data of my community, which is super helpful. And I love it.
So that the point isn't lost. The beauty of the Model Context Protocol is that it is platform agnostic, which is a fancy way of saying it will work with all of the AIs out there. You pick your favorite. It is a protocol that is a standard, and it's an open standard. So you know your service could work with ChatGPT. I mean, you chose Claude, but you didn't have to. You're not locked into that. And
they all have
that's the power here. Yeah. Well, one of the powerful things. The other powerful thing is no longer do you have to like send it screenshots or let it log in with your browser, which is like if you want to find a good way to burn tokens really fast, have your AI control your browser. I know. It's awesome.
It's awesome. but
this is a way more efficient way of doing it because they just get to talk directly to each other, just like an API would. And so there's no misinterpretations, and it's as efficient as it could possibly be. Yeah.
It's a game changer for me. I connected it to my newsletter platform and talking back and forth and like reviewing the analytics and changes over the last 6 months and what to do in this case. And I could just go back and forth and ask questions, and then it will actually help me implement the changes. So it had certain permissions, and it would come up and I would get prompted, say, well, it would, of course, it'd say, open it in Chrome and I can take control of the site and I can create this template for you and we can do this. Super helpful for me, man.
That's great.
It's amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
I actually had it on the list today to talk about the title of my note was Claude Cowork is quickly becoming my primary email agent. And it's all about MCPs. Because I use Fastmail for my email.
Okay. Yeah.
And Fastmail recently, not a month or two ago, maybe more, released their own first-party MCP. Other people had kind of built layers of MCPs that were unofficial. They released their own. And, I can say, like, the screenshot that I put in the thing for the example is I just wrote, hey, to Claude Cowork, I said, take a look at my Fastmail inbox and summarize the top 10 most important things that you find my attention would be best spent looking at next.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it did. It was like, you got to do this, Dave. Like there's money waiting, essentially.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. And it looked through 800 emails to like figure that out, and then was like, all right, you're good to go. So, and then I could choose to have it. I don't. It doesn't have permission to send anything, but it has permission to create and save drafts.
Yeah, that's what I love that too. Yeah. I think that's great. And then you just go in your draft folder, and there's a bunch of stuff waiting for you already.
It's waiting. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. So it is. It's a fascinating thing. Hey, Shannon, we've gotten out of our habit here. We need to talk about this episode's big takeaway, my friend. So we talked about generally AI censorship. I don't know that there was anything there.
I don't know.
Then we've got MCPs. That's what we talked about.
I think the MCP is the big takeaway because if you haven't used it, it's so easy to implement. You don't need a secret token like API and all this kind of stuff. And, and like Dave said, it's platform agnostic. It goes anywhere, any AI you want to use it for. I think that's my vote for the big takeaway.
I agree. Yeah, they're easy to implement, and you can connect your AI to Probably more things than you realize.
Yeah. I would add, that's one of the things you could do is ask your AI, does this service have an MCP that I could connect to? And it'll research for you and find out.
Here's all the services that I use. Do I have what to talk to me here?
What am I missing? What am I missing here?
Why don't I build an MCP? And when I say why don't I build, why don't I work with Claude Code to build?
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
A locator.
No, why don't I build an MCP for our internal podcast manager thing? So if our hosts want to use MCP to, if they want to use their AI to control their lives, why wouldn't I want to make that easy for you?
Yeah. I think that's great. I love it.